Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mindset Model. In today's episode of my worst, best moments, I'm going to be sharing a really juicy story all about my healing journey and something that happened that could have literally sent me over the edge, but it didn't because I was like, no, I am standing up for myself. So, if you are new to this series, my worst, best moments is where I share moments of time when something absolutely, I thought at the time, horrific happened to me. I was like, what is this life? I cannot even do this anymore. But instead of crumbling or falling or whatever it was, I chose to look at this as, okay, what is the learning behind this challenge? What can I take away from this? How can I become stronger? After whatever it is has happened. So, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how I utilize the power of nature and animals to help me come back to myself again. So, picture this. It must have been 2016. So, we're living in a flat at the time, and this flat is quite small. It's surrounded by concrete, it's car parks behind. In front, there is not an ounce of greenery, and I'm a nature girl. Like, I love being out in nature, so I felt really suffocated in this environment. But not only that, I was suffering some really serious mental health issues. I had back problems. I was not okay. And all I would do all day was just sit in this flat, like festering in my, in my whatever it was. And I would literally just bake cakes and cookies, not for other people. Oh no, I was baking these for myself, and I would just literally sit there, eat them all. Anyway, as you can imagine, like, I was actually quite feral in this environment. Then I decided that I needed to get out, get some fresh air, pull myself together and start this healing process, start this healing journey. So I'd already started with the mindset, mindfulness side of things. And I was like, right, I need to put this into action. So I started going for 10-minute walks, 15-minute walks. My back would start hurting a bit, so I'd have to stop. But I just did a little bit every single day. Then, as I got further and further, I was like, ooh, this is a new lane. This looks lovely. So it was this beautiful country lane, and at the end was this chicken coop. I was like, oh, friends. So I was making friends with these fucking chickens. Yes, I went back there every day. So I was just there enjoying their energy. And I was like, I'm just loving this so much. Let's upgrade. Let's go down the road. And that is where the cows were. So then, yes, I started talking to the cows. And again, being around animals, they've got such a beautiful energy. And then in the next field were these beautiful horses, 3 horses. I was like, oh my God, I've hit the jackpot. More friends. So I just created this little community of animals. And it started to make me feel really good. I was like, okay, I'm starting to get to every single day, I'm just getting better and better. So then I was like, right, I'm not well enough to work at the moment, but I still need to do something. I still need to push my comfort zone. So I looked into volunteering, and my local conservation park, which was called Wildest at the time, I turned up and I was like, hello, do you have any volunteering opportunities? And the amazing lady there was like, yes, you can be a ranger. I was like, brilliant. What the fuck is a ranger? So a ranger is somebody which is around the park, and they will welcome guests in, tell them about the animals, tell them some facts, talk about the conservation ideas behind the project and all of those lovely things. So it's basically just bringing the park alive. But at the time, I did not really like people. I still don't as much as most other people, but I tolerate. But at the time, I was like, talking to people, but this was really important because I was quite feral and I needed to start building my people skills again. So having these beautiful conversations with people that I'd never met before, these absolute strangers, it really started to build my confidence, and I started to feel so good. I actually felt part of a team again. So I was a volunteer ranger, then I was a volunteer gardener, I know. So I was like helping grow the fruits and vegetables for the animals at the park. Cucamelons, a cucamelon, who even knew that existed? I didn't until I volunteered there. Then I did a bit of maintenance. Then finally, the best experience was being a volunteer keeper. Oh my goodness me. Like, this meant that I could help and support the actual zookeepers there in their day-to-day husbandry things which they needed to do. So creating the diets, getting the food ready, observations, obviously poop scooping as well, cleaning out the enclosures. I was up close with giraffes, like actual real life giraffes, meerkats, okapis. We had red river hogs, gelada baboons. There was also carnivores and things which because I was a volunteer and I wasn't qualified or anything, I couldn't go like near them, but I was still like near them, nearer than the other people that would come in. So like the cheetahs and the bears and the wolves. Oh, it was just a magical experience. I was like, okay, I am really starting to come back to myself now. I am starting to rediscover who I am, what brings me passion, what I'm here for. And then life was like, listen up, bitch. I'm going to send you something to make you think again. So one day I got home and my solicitor said, I'm really sorry because I was having, I was having a court case to sue the lorry driver that hit me. And it was like a whole thing. Anyway, my solicitor said, there has been some surveillance videos sent in. I was like, what? Somebody was following me around. I was being followed by a private fucking investigator. I know. What the fuck? So I was a woman who was broken inside, doing everything she could to fucking heal herself, doing everything she could, told by the doctors, get out, you need to move your body, you need to interact with other people. I was doing the things. However, I was also then being told, well, look at you, going out, doing this, doing that. What the hell? It was the most violating feeling I've ever felt in my life. Imagine somebody just following you, especially when you're feeling that vulnerable as well. So instead of crumbling and being like, right, that's it, I am never leaving my flat ever again, I was like, no, I am staying strong, and what I am doing is so that I can get better and I can get healthy. So I stood strong in that moment. I carried on and I went forward, and here I am now. Because if I had stopped at that time and listened to, there's a part of your mind called the ego, which is like your safety mechanism. My ego was screaming. My ego was like, get the fuck back to that flat and don't ever leave again until you're like 80. I was like, no. So anyway, there are a couple of messages that I would like to share with this story. So first of all, do not underestimate the healing power of nature. Nature and animals are they are natural medicine. They are wonderful, calming, tranquil souls and creatures. If you are having a bad day, a bad moment or whatever, get the fuck outside, get in that grass, climb that tree, go and see your pets or go to your local chicken coop and make some friends. You will feel so much better. There is scientifically backed evidence as to why this does help us. It's all to do with energy and frequency tendencies that I can't be asked again right now. Just take my word for it. Next thing, healing looks unproductive to the outside world. Other people will look and be like, oh, look at that lazy person, or if you are on a healing journey, it's really important that you listen to yourself, you listen to your body. You need to rebuild your soul. And a lot of people do understand that as well, which I learned. But don't fucking listen to them. Listen to you. The next thing, when I was being followed, like I said, this was the most this was a violation of my vulnerability. That is how I would describe it. It was the worst feeling when you're just trying, every ounce of you is trying to be your best self, and then someone's there with a fucking sledgehammer like, no, bitch, get down. But instead of, this will happen, this could happen to people in their lives, not in this, particular incident. But what I'm trying to say is, if you are having something that's happening to you at the moment, which feels extremely challenging, you feel like the whole world is against you, you don't have to fight back. But what you do have to do is you have to continue forward. Do not give up on what you believe in. That is such a powerful message. The next thing, you can find yourself in unexpected ways. Again, with healing, you don't have to do the whole go into a bloody retreat or a spa or things like that. Like I said, even if you're just going outside, you're gardening, you're getting muddy hands, whatever you're doing, as long as you're doing something which feels alignment in your soul, it feels good, and you can just do a little bit of that something every single day. And then finally, stand up for yourself, even when you feel powerless, because the world might not understand your path, but that doesn't mean that you are wrong, okay? So I want you to remember this. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of me wandering around searching for animals to make friends with. And I will see you in my next episode of my worst, best moments.